Ooh, that is rough, honey. What's going on? Editing Dom here. Just a quick disclaimer. This video was recorded a day before it was found out that Dak did something pretty stupid. Because I guess he couldn't eat ribs alone. Nice dog picture, by the way. Just follow the rules. Granted, it's alleged that Dak had a party at his house with more than 10 people. But yes, the point still remains for this video. If you want to know what I'm talking about, keep on watching. I think that Dak Prescott is playing the long game, and I think Dallas just played themselves. But they were trying to show and allude to the fact that Dak can and will be replaced. Not here for it. Dak is your best bet of getting to a Super Bowl within the next 1 to 3 years. And Dak knows that. And I think the Dallas Cowboys know that too. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back into your Way Off Weekend, your weekly dose of everything sport, a little society, and a crap ton of foolishness for the sports novice and the sports junkie alike. I'm coming to you with Dak details on his long-term deal. But before then, have you subscribed? You either clicked on this video because you're a little curious or a little off, or you're probably a Dallas Cowboys fan and you guys watch whatever has to do with the Dallas Cowboys anyway. But you're in quarantine, you have nothing else to do. I'm making more videos this week, so go ahead and subscribe. Now let's get back into Dallas and Dak. I think that Dak Prescott is playing the long game, and I think Dallas just played themselves because they showed that they have no respect for Dak Prescott as a quarterback. Why do I say that? Some could beg to differ because they think putting Dak Prescott under the exclusive franchise tag meant that they wanted to work out a long-term deal with him, which of course they do. What else do they have as of right now? But apart from not making it attractive for other teams to go after Dak and giving him somewhat of what he deserves in these quarterback salary games and negotiations, they've proven to me, not only through this little Instagram PR stunt with Jalen Hurts, but also the way that they're contradicting their entire business model, that they don't respect Dak Prescott and that they really don't think that he is their long-term dynasty level dude, or they don't want him to be. So the Dallas Cowboys are known for a few things. One of those things is overpaying players for potential. They love big burst players who go on to do absolutely nothing. And they're also known for this drastic sense of loyalty that they have to their guys. They want to keep them around as long as possible if they like you. That simple. They've contradicted their entire business model with Dak Prescott. You see potential. Dak Prescott has essentially already made it clear that he is the piece. He is the fit. You can build around him. You can have those pieces and build around him, and he'll take you where you want to go. But for some reason, they've got in their head that just because he's average and he's consistent, and because he doesn't give you those big bursts and then trail off and flail off like the rest of those players, that he probably won't get you where you need to go, so you need a backup plan, right? It's not making much sense to me, especially since they were willing to pay Tony Romo all of those years, and Tony Romo did nothing. Okay, doesn't make sense to me. And then they go and they get Jalen Hurts on the phone, a quarterback who we can all agree the quarterback class coming out this year is outstanding. But we know that Dallas is not going to get their hands on Jalen Hurts. So not only is it disrespectful, but they were trying to show and allude to the fact that Dak can and will be replaced, but more so than anything, that he can be replaced. The same way that he got on that field is probably the same way they're going to try and kick him off. I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas tries to draft a quarterback in one of the late rounds to see if he can par up. But I digress. All right, moving on. Again, Dallas is right to want to play it safe. They've spent money on players all year long. Zeke Elliott didn't do or play up to par to what his contract had for this year. Some may disagree. Amari Cooper, great, fantastic, pay him. But at the end of the day, Amari Cooper seems like, and he just comes off as one of those players who's probably going to play a few more years, then dip out. Not because there's anything wrong with him, not because his level of play is flailing or trailing by any sense, but because he's accomplished enough. He literally has nothing to prove to anybody. Amari Cooper is and probably will continue to be a household name in Dallas. But they have the time to put the pieces around Dak. And honestly, with Dak, Dak is your best bet of getting to a Super Bowl within the next 1 to 3 years. And Dak knows that. And I think the Dallas Cowboys know that too. So I have a one of three ideas floating through my head as to where Dallas is in this space. One, they think that Dak Prescott might make them Super Bowl eligible, take them to a Super Bowl, and maybe even win in about 1 to 3 years. Great. If they do that, barring any contract renegotiations, you keep Dak under his current deal and you don't have to pay him any more money. And if there's more players on the market, more eligible quarterbacks, you can get rid of him in his peak, because you'd rather get rid of him early than get rid of him late, which is the model that the Cowboys are trending to. The next idea that I have in my head of to where they could be thinking is Dak isn't our guy. Put him on a 5-year deal, get rid of him in 3 years because he hasn't taken us to a Super Bowl, get that money back, get one of these new guys to kind of come in, and we still have the rest of those pieces. Okay, cool. Last thing that I'm thinking is, hey, 3 to 4 years will be enough time for us to bring in another new young QB whom we don't have to play. Dak seems like he has great leadership potential. Let him train him up, and then we send Dak on his way. Because again, it's easier to get rid of him too early than too late, right? As long as he wins us a Super Bowl. Either way, they're looking for ways out. But the level of respect that you have shown Dak Prescott versus, let's say, a Tony Romo, and willing to take your chances and not take a chance on him for what he's looking for, goes to show me that you have no faith in Dak, and you're going to try and get rid of him sooner rather than later, because he knows his value, he knows his worth, and you guys just aren't willing to cough up the change because you've realized that you've coughed up the cash for players who just don't seem to pan out, even though they've never had to play without all of their top talent, i.e. Zeke. Zeke has never had to play without Dak. So how do we know how he fares with another quarterback and another scheme and another whatever? I say put the pieces around Dak Prescott. He's already shown you he can be consistent through anything, really, and keep it moving. Pay him. Either way, something in them is telling them that regardless of how great and how flawless his image is off the field, he's just not their fit on the field. Not here for it. Now, Dak. Like I said a little bit earlier, Dak came out with a burst at the beginning of the season just to give you a little sneak peek of what he's working with. But he's remained consistent, and that is the one thing that you want in this league. I mean, look at Russell Wilson. Look at, I'm still putting Aaron Rodgers in this category. Even with all of the pieces gone around them, they still make things happen. That's what you want, right? Dak knows that that's what he can offer, and Dak knows that he hasn't even hit his peak yet. So, of course, I want a shorter deal. I want more guaranteed money, and I want to go out on my terms. What I think Dak is banking for is, I know I can get you guys into a Super Bowl appearance. I know I can make you guys Super Bowl contenders, right? But at the end of that, because I played your little game for so long and I've gotten bypassed for so long and getting paid, I want to do things my way. I'm going to start renegotiating early. Take you to a Super Bowl, maybe 2. Renegotiate my contract early. And then when that's all said and done, make my own demands known. They know that they want to keep me because they want to get back to those dynasty days. But if they don't, then I'm going to pull a Tom Brady and I'm going to walk, because I know you guys didn't want me in the first place. And with that, I know that any team is willing to pay me as long as I'm still in my peak, still in my prime. I have my repertoire to back me up, and I'm good. Smartest play for Dak, right? Then obviously, get the shorter deal. If they cut you, you still get more money. You can't bank on them to have all the pieces around you, because they've proven to you time and time again, keeping Jason Garrett, keeping these guys around, that they have no care for you and they don't want to set up an offense around you to make you successful. They finally did, pulling in a Mike McCarthy after 4 years when they saw your talent in year 1. Who's to say that they're not going to start taking pieces away from you? Who's to say Amari Cooper won't retire? Who's to say they won't get rid of Zeke? You've already played in those positions before and proved yourself, but who's to say that they're not going to restructure after they might win a few more games with you, after they might win a Super Bowl with you, get rid of everybody, and then you're left to prove yourself. They put you in a terrible position to renegotiate with other teams later on. Essentially, get all the money you can while you can. And Dak's not stupid too. He wants to play for the Dallas Cowboys because he knows what that entails, not only being in Dallas now, but after his career. You're pretty much set up for life, i.e. Tony Romo, i.e. any other quarterback that's really come out of Dallas for the most part, except for a few. But he knows where he's at. He knows what he offers, and he knows he's not at his peak yet. Dak, hold out as long as you can, man. Playing under the franchise tag isn't bad either. I mean, guaranteed money. What? Yes. But like other people have been saying as well, Dak has outperformed all of the guys who've gotten the big contracts. So it would be disrespectful to himself to take anything less at this point. I mean, Carson Wentz, who allegedly led his team to a Super Bowl, even though Nick Foles won it and was in the playoffs. And then Jared Goff, you took your team to a Super Bowl and you were a bust. No level of consistency whatsoever. And Dak's not getting paid? You got to do better than that, man. All I'm saying is Dak has proven himself to be exactly who the Dallas Cowboys need, who the Dallas Cowboys want. But he's not giving them everything until he gets paid. And I'm right here for it. Dak, keep doing what you're doing. We're all rooting for you. All right? Hold out, get your money, become one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid quarterback in the league, and leave on your terms. We're all doing Tom Brady in 2020, okay? It's that simple. I'm Dominique. I'm way off, and I'm way out, and I'll see you guys. Peace.